All right, welcome back. So the Seahawks signing free agent running back Eddie Lacy to join the backfield, but the signing comes with some baggage, and we're not just talking about his luggage. Furness from Seahawks Game Day is here. So Ian, Lacy has had some fitness problems the last couple of years, struggling with his weight, struggling with some injuries. It's a one-year deal, $3 million guaranteed, some incentives up for grabs. It's kind of a show-me deal.
Yeah, well, who hasn't had problems with their weight, right? I mean, all of us have. We all battle. The problem is we're not all running backs in the National Football League, but he's a guy that plays roughly at about 230 to 240 pounds. And Pete Carroll talked about that yesterday with me on Sports Radio KJR. And I think really the one thing we have to know before we get to this Pete Carroll soundbite is this. With Eddie Lacy, you see a guy here that's a big, powerful running back. You don't want him 195 pounds, Bill, and he signed a one-year contract, as you mentioned. That is a show-me deal. That's a guy that has to come in and prove that he can play.
He's not going to be 195. I mean, Pete Carroll says he should be like, 240 something, and that was close to what he was last year before he got hurt.
Yeah, and I did talk to Pete Carroll yesterday on KJR, and he said basically exactly that. He wants Eddie Lacy to be big and powerful.
He's big, and he's going to be big. We're going to get him at exactly the right spot. We have dealt with that already and talked to him about it. Numbers aren't something that I care about in this regard for you guys. We want to get him in great shape and get him ready to be durable and tough like he knows how to be. They should try to tackle this guy. Those that are wondering, they should try to tackle this guy. This guy's a monster of a runner. He gives us a chance to add to our group a real hammer.
Now, one of the things he did say, Bill, I asked him about the weight specifically. That's why he says, I don't want to get into those numbers, because the report was that he was 267 pounds on some of his visits around the National Football League. That's too big. They want him probably in the 240 range. He's not Marshawn Lynch. Let's remember one thing. Marshawn Lynch played at 5'10", 215. Looked bigger than that. Eddie Lacy's going to be about a 230-pound running back, but he gives them a hammer in the backfield. They haven't had that since.
And that's kind of the thing. I mean, you look at a three-headed monster with Procise, Rawls, and now Eddie Lacy. And, you could use Lacy in a number of ways, but one way would be potentially blocking some and also being kind of a battering ram.
Yeah, I think what you have is three very different running backs. Procise is a guy that catches the ball well. Obviously, Rawls is a little bit lower to the ground. And Eddie Lacy is just a big, powerful running back. I like those three backs. They're very different. And Pete Carroll has always had, he'd like to have at least back in the USC days, three different types of running backs. Yeah. Certainly he has that now.
Well, so it's interesting, too, because they are apparently going to entertain Jamal Charles at some point. Do you think if the money's right, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but if the money's right, do you think Jamal Charles fits into that mix?
I don't know if he does, because I'm not sure if Jamal Charles would want to come and be part of that crowded backfield. I mean, if you're Jamal Charles, why would you want to come here and be part of now 4 running backs? And we didn't even mention Alex Collins or Tromaine Pope as well. They've got a lot of guys in that backfield.
Yeah, that's very true. But one potential incentive could be that ring.
Yeah, they play for the ring at this point in time. There's no doubt. All right.